Hi, if it's the first time coming to my channel, my name is Cynthia Ojmadonorom. I'm the founder of Goldies Virtual Assistant, now an agency. In this channel, this is where you can learn how to be a virtual assistant, things you need to know as a virtual assistant, tools you can use as a virtual assistant, and how to scale in this business as a virtual assistant. Without wasting our time, let's get right into this video. Let's proceed. Hmm. Okay, so here we're here, and then I need a Google search bar. So let's say, for instance, they got a job to make research about a particular thing, right? And then maybe let's say, for instance, you have asked to research about, let's say, list of restaurants in the United States, or maybe okay, let's use one place in the United States. Okay, let's say Texas. So either you Google search, okay, let's say top 10 restaurants in Texas. Okay, and here we are, and the Google search, you'll be able to see a couple of them, right? So when you do this, you have something like this. When you have something like this, these ones are registered. They are registered restaurants in Texas. That is why you can see them under this map section, because this is Google Map. So they registered their business in Google Map, right? So either you start from here, because most times I prefer using the map because you will have a level of accuracy here, right? Then you can also move forward to search in some of these research, but let's start with the ones in the map. So let's say I need information from them, I need their name. You click into the one that you want. Wait, taking time. Okay, so let's say this one is Taste of Texas. Okay, let's say this is the name of this. So into your spreadsheet, here you name your spreadsheet, right? So that once it's saving, because every sheet you create or any document, any of the Google Workspace, they automatically saves in your drive, right? So as soon as you do that, you name it. Let's say research on restaurants in Texas, and then you have it here. It automatically saves. You see that it saves in your drive. So first of all, what you are expected to do is to name your sheet, right? So let's say the first thing you're looking for is the name of restaurant. And then the second one you drag. Once you have something like this, you drag. Then the second one should be their website, if they have any. And the next one should be their phone number. Then the next one should be their email address, if they have any. And then we can also get their location address. So I think for researches like this is the key things you look out for once you are conducting the research for this kind of research, right? So let's go back. The first one we got, the name is Taste of Texas. We copy the name, go back into the sheet and paste the first one. Please remember to click. If you don't click, if you just drop your mouse and paste, you will have that result I had, right? So undo, you click into the box and then paste. It will not be in form of a text. Then you go back to the Google. We're looking for this is their number, this is the website and all of that. So let's see, let's scroll down. This is review. Yeah, so this is the address. So I've seen the address. Go back into the address section, click in and paste. And now if you observe, when I pasted this, it crossed into the next box. So as a virtual assistant, and not just a virtual assistant, as a trained virtual assistant, you are expected to have an organized sheet, right? So now I have something like this and I can present this kind of thing to a client. So what do? I still leave my mouse there. I'll come here. So if you come to this, these are the two bars. So once you come to this section, you will see something like this. And when you look here, you see that what we are looking for is not here. You come here, you see this arrow here, right? Once you click it, so these three dots, once you click it, you have this here. Okay, so now the remaining has dropped down. What we are looking for is test wrap. If you put your mouse, you'll be able to see something like test wrap in here. So once you do that, you click on this arrow because this particular one will give us what we are looking for. You click on it, it will have another drop down. So anything that you see that has arrow, they still have other members. Other members, right? So you click into this place. Then we're looking for this one, wrap. If you toggle here, you see this one is a clip. If we do this one will not give us what we want, to still be straight. If we do this one, it will overflow. So what we're looking for is a wrap, right? If you put your mouse, you'll be able to see is a wrap. So once you hit this, you see that this has been aligned properly. Are we together? Are we together? Okay. So then you see that the test has aligned properly. Okay. Then we'll continue. Go back to your Google. This is their phone number. You come here and input the phone number. So keep in mind that this is a phone number. Now, if you look at it, you see we're having error because I want to teach us something today. That is why I'm taking my time to go over this. This is error because we have phone number there actually, but Google Sheet said is an error. Why? Because our phone number has the plus sign, and the plus sign in Google Sheet indicates calculation or addition or anything, right? So it automatically says an error because we don't have any command. That one is another level of calculation in spreadsheets. We don't have any command on this particular row saying that there will be calculation and all of that. So if you watch, it said no formula, right? Formula error and all of that because we don't have any command on this particular row saying that something calculation will go on here. So that's why it's indicating error. So what is the best way to copy and paste international numbers or numbers? Because definitely if you're researching about Nigeria or any country, each country has their plus sign in front of their numbers. So two things are involved. Is either you put apostrophe before writing and click out, or you wipe out the plus sign entirely and leave the number. So these are the two strategies that can enable you to leave the contact right? And so now what you will now do is, if you're researching about things is about Tesla, so anybody that sees the name Tesla knows it's in US and knows the code is +1. Okay, let's say for instance the person you're researching for don't know, so you can come up here and put your comma, okay, and then put +1. So the person automatically knows that this will be the code for all the numbers you are going to put in here. So two things: either you remove the plus sign entirely and just paste the number, a +1, or you put apostrophe. Let's try that. You put your apostrophe and put your plus and still have your 1. And then when you remove your cursor, you have that, right? So these are the two ways you can be able to put in numbers, phone numbers especially, into the spreadsheet and still maintain the code of the country. Okay, so let's continue our search. And they have their website, tasteoffeathers.com. Copy. You will not copy link address. If you copy link address, it will go in form of a link. If you just copy it, you go into your sheet, click into your box and paste the website. It will still be hyperlinked because it's a website. Remember, you shift anyone that didn't go in, you shift. Okay, so we are left with email address. Let's get their email address if they have one here. So now if you look at this Google map, you see a whole lot of information. They are always busy around this time. You see, busy is their busy hours. Okay, so let's see if we can get their email address. Okay, if you don't have their email address here, we can get this on their website. Let's see if we can get their website. If we can. So some of them may not have their website, their email address on their website. Visit us. Let's see their contact us page. Okay, so they prefer to have their phone number, so their email address is not on their website. Okay, so in this case, if you encounter something like this, in this case, you can just put your dash or nil, right? So the client will know that you didn't see any information, or you can still write none. You can use anything that depicts that you didn't see that. So let's say for instance these okay, let's say we have done for the first person. Let's do for the next person. We go back. So we're back here. So after the second one, we'll do the next thing so that we don't waste time in the live classes. So we have the Henry. That's the name of this one. You copy, go into the sheet, paste website, scroll down. These are their reviews as well. Scroll down, we have their address. So who will tell me what is it that I said that we're going to do when we have something like this? Who will tell me? And wait. Okay. Okay, that's the keyboard shortcuts. So let's say for instance the next person don't know the keyboard shortcuts. What did I say earlier that I would do? Okay, which one? This one? Okay, the test wrapping. So what do I do next? Okay, so which of them do I select? Which one? Yeah, yeah, the middle one. Yeah, that's correct. So once I hit that, it automatically sets. Okay, so then we get another one. We'll get their webs. Okay, we'll have their phone number. So another person should get ready to tell me what I'll do with this phone number because obviously it's going to say error. So what do I do? Okay. 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 Yeah. All right. So let's do that. So I remove the equals to and then put the apostrophe in front of the plus one and hit out and then the maintains that. So let's still put our plus sign and then we have it. Correct. Okay, so our website for this company is here. Copy, paste here. And then let's see if we can see their email address. Email address. So another option is to go into their website and see if we can find their email address there. Okay, we can hit this toggle here to check out their contact page. Contact. Other online versions. Okay, let's check the careers and see what we'll see, but I doubt if it will be here. Okay, so we don't have their email. So most times, if you want to search for the right, you can also go into their Instagram. If they hyperlinks their Instagram, is going to take us to their Instagram page. And most businesses, of course, will have their email address on their page. So if you're using mobile phone, let me see if I can see that here. If you're using mobile phone to do this research, you'll be able to see email up here, somewhere around here. And once you hit that, you'll be able to get their email address. Okay, let's see their link tree if it will give us email. So this is how to research. Like you have to really research before you can draw conclusions. Okay, we have this here. All right, this is their email. Regarding that, so here we go. This one is no reply, so I think this should be their website at this, but this is not really accurate except we are clicking it into a Google. But if you want to give that a shot, you can click that into your Gmail to get their email address. That's another way to get that. Let me see if I can copy the email address. Let me see. It's going to copy the link. It's going to copy the link. Going to copy the link, and this can be their no reply, and this can be their email. I doubt. So usually if you do all of these, and let's just assume this is their email, so it's either open table at this, right? So but let's assume this is their email address, and then we've gotten what we're looking for. And then let me say, so let's say we've gotten everything, and we have like 10 or 20 or 30, depending on how many the client wants, right? So we'll start formatting this data. So now looking at this one, we need to wrap it. So it's best to do it earlier. Okay, so now we have, let's say this is like 10 of different data we've gotten for the client on this particular research, right? So now you start formatting. Once you hit your mouse here, it will highlight all of the first, which is the title. Okay, to highlight it. Once it does, you can come here, which is B, you bolden it to increase the visibility of that. You can also increase the font. When you come to this section, you increase it so that it will be quite different from others. You can increase it, normally. Then you can also move this to be in the center instead of it aligning itself on the left hand side. You come here, just like the same thing we did with test wrap. You come here, this one that says horizontal alignment, you hit the down arrow and you see the center, you put it. Okay, and then we have this aligned, the upper part is aligned now. And then the next thing we're going to do is to format this sheet. So you can see my mouse here, my mouse is here. So if you hit this white empty box, it automatically highlights both the upper part and the other part. So the entire sheet is being highlighted, right? But if you want to just highlight what you need, you can just click out and just here and just keep your mouse here and drag it. And drag it to highlight. Where did it stop? Okay, to highlight it up to this point. Or you can do something like this. You can do something like this so that you just get only the area that you are using, not getting the extra boxes, right? Because if you get the extra boxes, by the time we are done with the formatting, the extra boxes will also be formatted, which you did not use. So what is the most important part is this area that we have our data inside, and which is the area we want to format. Okay, so now we want to make it look good. So the next thing we're going to do is you go to this format. Okay, so once you go to this format, you have a lot here, which was also explained in the training, but I'm going to be using this one, alternating colors. So once you hit these alternating colors, you have this dialog box pop up by the side here. Then you have, if you want the header and footer to be separated or to be thick, you can do that, but we're not doing footer here because this is a data. The only place that is important is the header, which is where we have the captions. So now here you select your colors. If you have any color in mind, you can decide to put here, but it's best you can select from what they have. Let's say we want to use this one. I'm in love with gold. Good. So let's say we want to use one. You can always change the colors. We have a lot here. If you don't like this, you can change for blue, right? You can change for any color you want, depending on the color you want. Okay, but I like this, so I'll go for this. So if you want to mix the colors, okay, the color one is white. If you don't want the two to be this one, you can also change it. Okay, so but I'll go with these two for now. Then you hit done once you are done. So once you are done, you see that it's looking pretty good. So even if you send this to a client to be smiling, he's smiling looking at your work because it's kind of organized, right? So we're not done. If you preview this now, you will see that it will show the data without line. Let's see if we can do that now. Preview. Let's see where we can preview this now. But it will show the data without. Here's a preview. Where are you? Okay, it will show the data without the lines, right? So I think we'll do that one. We'll see that. We'll be able to see that when we download it. So now we're going to go ahead to format it further. We'll highlight again, and then now you saw how I highlighted. You drop your cursor at the last box, drag it up, or you go from down up the other side and drag it down. So anyone that works for you. Then here we'll go to these two boxes again. Let me increase this. We're seeing my screen, right? Or should I increase the box? Are we seeing my screen? Okay. Okay. So we'll now go to this place that is called borders. So once you hit that, you see this one is all borders. This one, if you want to do only the inner ones, this one is middle, vertical, only the outer part, one side, upper side, the right side, the down part. This one is no borders at all. So right now we want to put the border, so we'll click on this and it will have the borders. So this is ready to be sent. Pretty good. So let's say for instance we are the ones that is working on this data, right? Let's say the client asked us to email these clients. Let's say the reason why the client needed this research is he wants to call the company, or he wants to email the company, right? And let's say for instance after doing that, the client has access to this sheet, and the only way the client to know what we have done, we have to also report in the sheet, or you have to send the link to the client. Okay, this is the link to the sheet that I'm working on, so the client can be checking from time to time, right? So in this case now, you can add another box here. It can be notes, okay, for the clients. You can also put this in your reports, that you have a section notes where you have, that indicated people you have reached out to and all of that. And now in this case, you don't want to start typing emailed or called inside the box. That will look unprofessional. right? So in this case, you can just hit your insert box. We'll add a checkbox. You go here, hit this. Once you hit this, you have your checkbox, so you can easily check it or check. So now in this case, now you saw me to have this here and be adding the checkbox one by one. You can just put your mouse. You see this box is highlighted. So once you put your mouse, you will see the mouse will change to a plus sign. So as soon as it changes to plus sign, that means you can drag it. So you click your mouse and drag. Okay, click your mouse and drag to the last one as infinity, depending on where, or you can just, you know, copy and then highlight that whole column. Let's say for instance you have like 100, highlight the whole column and paste, right? So the best is to drag. So now you can check the ones that you emailed. Let's say these ones they are checking are the ones that went through or the ones that you've worked on, right? And these ones you've not been able to work on them. So this is how to, keep track. This is part of the report you're going to give the client, right? In the notes section, I checked the ones I've been able to work on or the ones that went through, or depending on what the task is all about, what the client wants you to achieve. Okay, so now let's say for instance you called these people and their numbers didn't go through or the number went through, right? So you still have to keep track. As a virtual assistant, your work have to be accurate, right? So you still have to keep track. Let's say for instance, what can we call it? We can say results. Let's just see it for the whole of this. You can say results. So now you see that all the headers are taking that format because of the format we have used. So now, but what has not been affected is the border. So after we are done now, we're going to see affect the borders for this one. So now say for instance, you called this number and let's say it's a good lead or a bad lead. So let's say you can give a note, a footnote here for the purpose, right? It could be notes. Okay, then you give your description. You can say the note section shows, just kind of give your explanation based on what, right now you're trying to explain to the client, so the client has the knowledge of what you're doing. So once you're done with, they can just give that here, right? Yeah, and once you're done, you can also give it a section, give it a design here. You can also format, it can be any color. You can use the color to, make it look different so that the client, you can change the font so it will be bright enough. You can change it from black to white. You come here and change it to white, okay, so that it's easier for the client. All right, are we there? All right, so I want us to see how we can hit the time. I know Google Meet gives 1 hour. So now for this results section, what I'm going to do personally is to use the drop down. So if you come to this insert, you will see the drop down. So once you hit that, the box will be activated. Okay, so in this drop down now, you can choose the colors you want to use. So let's say we want to use green for a good lead, and then want to use red for a bad lead. Okay, you can also add another one. You can say this one, you can use yellow for a fair lead. Okay, so you can always add, whatever you want. So once you're done here, you hit done. Okay, so once you hit done, you will see this will come in here. Okay, then you can drag just like we did the other ones. You can drag down to the end of the box. And now if you watch in this case, you see that our borders are not visible. So we'll still go back and do our border so it will all align properly. So let's say for instance I've called this, I reached out to this business or this company and the number went through. I spoke with them, told them what our intentions are and all of that. And I'll come here and tick good lead, right? I'll come here and choose good lead. You can you can space it out so that it will come in one line, right? So then this one, since I reached out, the number didn't go through, so there's no notes here indicating that I did that. So this one I can just say bad lead, right? So this is how to be able to put your data in a very good format that once you are done and submit this to a client, there's no how the client will not want to come back. In fact, the client will want to come because say this VA is truly organized. I would like to work with it because even at a glance, the client has all the information, he or she needs. And down here you have put down a note for him or her, right? Explaining the last two rules of what, so that's what it's easier for the person to be able to understand what you actually did here. Okay, so that is how to be able to do this data entry job if you get one, and do it neatly. Okay, you can also go as far as formatting this. If you don't want them on the left, you can choose to highlight all of these and come here again and get the center alignment. Okay, they all be in the center if you don't want them. If you want the number 2 to be in the center, the same thing. Okay, so that is how to format your sheet or data entry jobs and have it to look neat and presentable to clients. So now when you want to share with the client, what do? You come to this share here on this right hand side. If you hit on this arrow, it will show copy the link, which is fine, you can copy the link. But if you want to share with the client, you hit the share here, it will load this dialog box. Once it loads, it's either you add the client's email here, right? You click into this box, add the client's email and hit done. Okay, or you come here, this general asset. This is the one I usually do with my VA. If you are given any data entry job and you are doing the first thing you do is to share the sheet you're working with. So once you create a sheet and you want to start working, you come here, click on this restricted, you tick anyone with the link. Once you click it will show viewer. Viewer means whoever you're sharing with will just be able to view. Then if you want to give the person edit access, you click here and make the person an editor. It will update again and you see that. So now once you do that, you can now share the link. You can now share the link and send to the admin, right? And send to the admin, so admin will be able to see what you're doing. If there's any correction, she'll be able to correct you. So once, or let's say you're sending that to your client, you copy it, you want to give the client edit link, or maybe it's even a job you did you want to submit. If you don't want to start asking the client his or her email, you just use this process, copy the link and send to the client. Or you can give the client only the viewing access, copy the link and send. Then when client requests for editing access, you do the same, give editing access, copy the link. Once you copy it, you'll be able to send this now. Done. So let me show you how the link looks. Right, you see that? It is how it looks. So once you copy it, you send to the client and the client will click it and have access to your document. Okay, so that is how to share the link. Then let's say you want to download it. Is a work, you want to download it as a PDF to send to the client. You do the same thing, come to the file section here, come to the file section, go to the download. You either download as an Excel sheet or you download as a PDF, right? So if it's a reel, let's say you got a lot of quotes and you want to create a reel, You can do the one of SCB. You can download as SCB. That one will be a training for another day, but let me mention it now. You download it as an SCB and be able to create up to 10 or 20, 30, 50 reels, okay, for your social media management. All right, so this is how. So once you download this, let's say for instance we are downloading this now. I want to show us how beautiful this looks. You see, this is how beautiful it's going to look to that client. It looks so fine, and the client will be like, "Oh, this is my work. I received this." you know. Then once you want to download as PDF, it will come like this, and you hit this export. Once you hit the export, it downloads into your system. You save it, will be saved. Then you can now send it to the client, email, or depending on the process of submission. If it's on Fiverr, you send to the client, right? And the client will go through it. If you want to submit as a document, if you don't want to submit as a document, you can submit as a link. Okay, you can submit as a link. So that is in 8 minutes. Oh, I tried. I tried. So do we have any question? Yes, please go ahead. Yes, they'll be the one to give you the instruction of what they want you to do. Yes, they could say, I need a research of so thing. They will just be the one to tell you what they want. Then you will now go in and do the research, right? If it's when we are posting jobs in the job board, post the job, research, something like that, and then you have it. No, no, that was an instance. It's not like you're going to call the number. That was an instance. Let's say, for instance, the clients, you're also doing the job of calling, making the calls. Do you understand? Let's say you're also doing the job of making the calls. No, most times you don't. You could just send them the documents and all of that. Yeah, that's it. Do you understand? Yeah, it's in case in a situation where your job is being extended to, let's say, email this. I want you to email these leads, or I want you to email these leads. Yeah, and then the person will now to email them. Also, once you are done, you check. You can now they know to now notify the client that the ones checked are the ones that you were able to email, or the ones that emails went through, something like that, because sometimes some of their emails will bounce back. Do you understand? You're welcome. Any other question? Okay. Let me leave my screen in case I need to share again. Okay. Yes, please. Go ahead. Does not like the work, like they were said. Um, yeah, most times they will give you a second chance to do it, but it's very rare for you to send a research work to clients and they'll tell you they don't like it, unless the number is few. Let's say you were not able to do a lot of research, because most times I tell my VAs, anytime you're giving any research job, the minimal number you should do is 30, 50. Yeah, so some people will just go and do 10 and send. That is very small. So the minimum you can do is 30, 50, so that it will be, yeah. So most times it's very rare for clients not to accept research jobs. Yes, please. You're welcome. Any other person? Okay. Okay, go ahead. Thank you. Yeah, because even in the research, you can even go further to do work with ChatGPT. But why I don't want to talk about ChatGPT is because most times they don't give email, they don't give phone number and all of that. So the best part to go through is Google, right? That's the best part to go through, so that you'll be able to have accurate info to an extent. You understand? You're able to have accurate info to an extent. So usually I don't advise ChatGPT, but ChatGPT can give you a heads up, right? You can be able to ask the same question. Give me top 10 restaurants in Texas, right? With put it in a spreadsheet, their phone number, their names, email address. They will want to it will give you, but most times it may not give you email address. You see not available and all of that because of the restrictions they have in that aspect in data security. Right. Thank you. At all, though, it's not. People are making. No, I'm going to drop websites in the group at the end of this training, or by this night. I'll drop websites. We can go and register and start working for people. Just data entry jobs. That's only what they do in that website. So I'll drop the websites in the group. We can go and register and start applying and start as so that we can start making small money before we graduate. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome. So they said we have 2 minutes more to leave the class. So in that sense of any other question, do we have any other question? Those that came in late, do you have questions from your training that you need clarity on? Thank you, man. Thank you, Maureen. Any other question? Thank you, Nechi. Yes. Yeah. Okay, sure. Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that. You're welcome. Okay, we can call it a day before they shut us out. To have a lovely weekend. I'll drop the link to this training. I also drop the link to some of the sites for data entry so that we can start applying. Okay. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Very soon I'll be dropping polls. I would like to know where you are in the cleaning. I would like to know. Oh, they reminded us. Oh, what a If you found this video helpful, feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section, like, share to other virtual assistants, and I will see you in my next video. Until then, keep doing the good work, keep working hard. Bye for now.